it's Zana. Are you ready for Year 2 Phonics? Today it's lesson 33 and it's a vocabulary focus. What's our learning intention for today? Our learning intention is to identify and use antonyms. What's an antonym? An antonym is a word that is opposite in meaning to another word. So let's explore some antonyms. Oh, actually, I've got this one here first. Let's have a look at this. We've got a group. It's got our oo sound, OU making oo in it. We've got a group of people. The antonym or the opposite of a group would be an individual. So a group, lots of people. Opposite of a group is an individual, one person. So individual is an antonym of the word group, means the opposite. Let's have a look at some more opposites. See how carefully we can stick that on. There we go. You might, if you were with us last time to do vocabulary lesson, you might remember that we looked at synonyms. Remember, synonyms are words that are similar. And we had these words here. We had tasty, we had our tasty strawberry, our fast car, and our poor little sick emoji. Today, we're going to think of things that are antonyms to these words that are opposite, not similar, but opposite antonyms. So something tasty, if it's the opposite of tasty, it might be tasteless. It wouldn't have much taste. And another word for tasteless is bland. So if something's not tasty, it might be bland. It hasn't got hardly any taste at all. Fast. Can you think of the opposite of fast? I bet you can think of some words that might be the opposite of fast. See if this is one you thought of. You ready? Slow. Fast, slow. Did you think of that one? Fast and slow are antonyms. They mean the opposite. How about this one? Got our poor little sick emoji. And then this one's not sick. They're the opposite of sick. If you're not sick, you might be, falling off the page. You might be healthy. I hope you're healthy. I hope you're not sick. I hope you are healthy. Even though you're watching this from home, I hope you're healthy while you're watching this at home. Antonyms mean the opposite. Tasty, bland, fast, slow, sick, healthy. Are you ready to investigate some more antonyms? Let me grab them. Oh, let's have a look at these ones. Oh, we've got our describing words here. So these are what the words are, and we're going to think of some antonyms. We're going to do a little bit of a sort. I'm going to hold up some words. You're going to tell me whether you think they're antonyms or not. So we've got youthful, full of youth. Youth means young, so young people are youthful. Polite, this person's eating politely. There's a little plate of food here and they've got their knife and fork and they're eating very politely. Hot and sad. We're going to think of the antonyms for those. So I'm going to grab some words and we're going to see if we can pop in the antonyms. Are you ready? I've got my list of words that are antonyms. See if you can help me match them. Aged, youthful, polite, hot or sad, aged, full of age, or you aged in the past. You've got lots of age if you're aged. I think this lady looks aged, doesn't she? She's certainly not youthful. So aged is the antonym of youthful. I'll pop that on there. Aged, antonym to youthful. Whoa, here's an oo word. It's got a prefix, un, meaning not, and uth, uncouth. You might not have heard that word before. What's uncouth an antonym for? Sad, hot or polite. Uncouth means a little bit rude. So if someone's uncouth, they haven't got very good manners. So if they're uncouth, it means they're not polite. So uncouth is an antonym for polite. So this little boy is eating his spaghetti in a bit of an uncouth way. He's scooping it all up in his mouth and it's going all over his chin. He's not being all very posh and polite, is he? So it's a bit uncouth. It's a funny word. Good one to use though. It's an interesting word. Next one. Happy. You know the opposite of happy, don't you? You know the antonym for happy. It's sad. And this person looks really happy. They've got their thumbs up and a big smile and they're happy. I hope you're happy while you're doing your work. happy, an antonym for sad. The last one, I reckon you might know this one, hot. These people are doing snow angels in the snow. It's certainly not hot there, it's cold. Cold. So the antonym for hot is cold. Did you guess some of them? I know that uncouth might have been a bit tricky. I don't reckon anybody got that one without any help. You might have, but I think that one was a bit tricky. I think we need a bit of help with that one. And aged was a little bit tricky too, but I think cold and happy, you would have been jumping right on those ones. You would have known those ones really quickly, am I right? Yeah, I know. All right, let's have a look at another activity that you can do now. Are you ready to explore some more words and show me whether you know the difference between synonyms and antonyms? I'm going to give you a task to do. Make sure you've got something to write on and something to write with. Pause the video, collect them, come back. Ready. You're all ready to go? All right, I'm going to pop some words on the board for you. We're going to see if we can work out which pairs are synonyms and which pairs are antonyms. So let's think of those definitions again. Have a think. Remember, a synonym are two words that are almost the same. They're similar. Antonyms are two words that are opposite. They mean the opposite to each other. So let's have a look here. We've got smart and clever. They're synonyms. They mean almost the same. So we've got a tick next to those. A tick if they mean the same. A tick for synonyms. Mean and kind. They are opposites. They are antonyms. So there's a cross next to it for antonym. I'm going to write it up here to help remind you as well. So if we see a tick, that means that, oh, it's not antonyms. I'm going to have to put a little line under that. That was a mistake. If we see a tick in the box, you don't have to put yours in a box though, but if you see a tick, it means synonym. Oh, now I've got to make sure I spell it right. There we go. If you see a tick, it is a synonym. If you see a cross, it's going to be an antonym. Okay, so have a look at these word pairs. I want you to write them down and put a tick next to them if they are synonyms and a cross next to them if they're antonyms. So you're going to need to pause your video, write the word pairs down, and then put a tick if they are similar and a cross if they are opposites or antonyms. Okay, see how you go and come back and check in when you've had a go. Okay, how did you go? You got all those ticks and crosses with those word pairs? Tick if it's a synonym, cross if it's an antonym. Let's check them. So we had smart and clever. A tick because they're synonyms, they mean similar things. Mean and kind, cross. They're antonyms, opposite. Next words, good and bad. Do they mean similar? Do they mean opposite? Opposite, that's right. You put a cross there. They're antonyms. Narrow and thin. Oh, if something's narrow, is it thin? It is. They are synonyms. They mean similar things. So narrow and thin, we're going to put a tick next to that because they are synonyms. Far and near. Do they mean similar things? Are they synonyms? Or do they mean opposites? Are they antonyms? They're antonyms. Should have a cross next to those ones. Group. Oh, there's the OU making ooh. A group or a crowd? Ooh. Group and a crowd. A group means quite a few people and a crowd means a lot of people. I think they are synonyms. We're going to put a cross by that. A cross. We're going to put a tick by those ones because they mean similar things. So they are synonyms. And the last ones we've got up and down, up, down. They're antonyms, aren't they? They're opposites. Let's put a cross next to those. How did you go? It's a little bit tricky to remember whether to put a tick or a cross if it was a synonym or an antonym, but I know that you did your very best and you had a good go. If you got any of them wrong, you can always rewrite them and put a tick or a cross and give yourself a big smiley face today for getting all your work done really well. There we go, big smiley face for a job well done today. Guess what? That's all we have to do today for our vocabulary lesson. Remember our learning intention? To identify and use antonyms. Did you do that? Did we find some antonyms? Did we use them in some sentences and things? Did we talk about them? We did. And remember, an antonym is a word that has the opposite meaning to another word. Fantastic job. Let's find out about your independent activity. Our lesson was pretty quick today. Your independent activity is a little bit trickier, so it might take you a bit longer today. On your screen, you will see a bit of a story. There's a reading passage there. They're all words you should be able to sound out and read. There's nothing in there we haven't learnt before. But we've got a story there about a girl called Rose, or a lady called Rose, and she's made a distasteful soup. She's made a soup that's not very yummy. And in the story are a whole lot of words that are underlined. And we want you to use the words in the boxes to change the underlined words to make the story about Rose's soup from being yucky, distasteful soup to being yummy, tasty soup. We glared at the dish Rose had prepared for our youth group lunch. Glared. What's another word in those boxes for glared? Glared. Can you see another word that means glared? Stared. We stared. We stared at the dish Rose had prepared for our youth group lunch. It was cold and bland. Ooh, let's have a look. Cold and bland. I'm not doing them all for you, but I'll do these two to help you out. Cold. Oh, it was hot and bland. What's the opposite of bland? It is tasty. So instead of cold and bland with no flavour, it was hot and tasty. Okay, so your job is to rewrite that passage and make Rose's soup sound good. So remember, it's not going to be cold and bland, it's going to be hot and tasty. And you're going to swap out those other words and rewrite the passage. Tricky task, but you're year twos, you can do it, like you've done all the other great work for us. Well done today on using synonyms and antonyms and finding and investigating antonyms and using them. Have a good go of your independent activity. I'll catch you next time.